Chat, welcome to the beginning of the stream. You know, I was gonna bust this out later, but I'm just gonna show you now.
I won't forget you, buddy.
You know, I learned a lot about color correction. I learned a little bit about importing various videos. No, that's not a filter. That's my real face. I have perfect cheekbones. Here, actually, take a listen to the actual audio. Definitely not a filter. And real audio. That is the real audio. It was so windy. It was so windy. Why did it sound like diarrhea? I don't know.
I won't forget you, buddy.
It's so dumb. I tried to get the color correction, and I gave up. I tried a little bit, and then something was weird when it was exporting, and then I gave up. I have no idea what this is referencing. It's referencing this.
Bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your...
I won't forget you, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. Vinny, has anyone told you how handsome you are? I agree. I mean, that's, again, not a filter. Definitely my real cheekbones, my real face, which is distorting wildly. Absolutely real. Vinny, title is misspelled as Crazy Cattle instead of Crazy Castle. It's actually Crazy Cattle that I'm playing, but there's no category for that on Twitch, so I just put Crazy Castle. Vinny, I've never seen you smile before. I've smiled at least once in my life. I've smiled. I've smiled. So, let me think. I can count on one hand. Here, I'm gonna look for a smile. Do I have any smile photos? Smile photos. Not really. No, never mind. I'll have to find a new filter for that. Hey, real quick. Chat. Oblivion Remake is probably real. And, yeah, there you go. That's a real smile. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because people are, you know, discussing it. And, the most, prominent part of the discussion here is that there's color correction, and it's brown and P filtered. Now, there's a little bit of a story here. I'm not going to be the one to deliver the full, you know, story because the developer that was working on this took down everything. So, you know, I don't think it was supposed to actually be revealed yet, obviously, because these photos are like kind of shitty. But my thoughts on the Oblivion remaster is some of the photos, you know, the assets look higher resolution, obviously. And, you know, there's more detail, there's more lighting and things. This is not Skyblivion, sorry. And, I mean, that, obviously, I mean, look at that, you know what I mean? However, I know the color correction stuff sucks. But check this out. Someone did this. Someone just did some, speaking of color correction, that seems to be the topic of the day, is color correction. That looks a lot more like Oblivion. Now, I have a couple things I want to say about Oblivion. Oblivion is an interesting game because it was kind of ahead of its time when it came out. I couldn't believe how good the graphics were when I saw the videos of it. And then I ended up playing it on a severely underpowered computer. But I lowered the resolution almost as low as you could go. And I really just didn't care. Because I really enjoyed the game and the exploration and just finding random things. I wasn't really an Elder Scrolls guy. So that was my first Elder Scrolls that I played. And I never finished it. But playing it now, there's like some level of uncanny valley and jank and the fucking silly voice acting. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's really, there's moments where it's really good. And then there's some funny voice acting. And there's the faces. Oh man, the faces. How do you capture all that in a remake? Maybe you don't. You know, maybe with Oblivion, if you go ultra detailed and you up the resolution of everything in Unreal Engine, maybe it loses some of its charm. Maybe it ends up being a better game. But there's a lot of questions here, and, you know, clearly people are just seeing screenshots. And the main topic is the brown. You know, so the left is the original, on the right is the remake. And it looks to be relatively faithful in terms of like geography. So it's not like a Final Fantasy VII remake kind of situation. It just seems to be like make everything better. So, and I know Skyblivion is being worked on, which is Skyrim engine Oblivion. But I don't know. I think some of it looks pretty good. And I'm curious to see what this developer was capable of. What is the name of the developer? Virtuous? If the devs took the screenshots down, is it really kosher for you to be showing leaks? They're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. So, you know, whatever. Come after me if you want, bro. But, like, it's too late. Cat's out of the bag. Same people that are doing MGS Delta. Yeah, I mean, major video game news sites are covering this. So, you know, what can you do? I talk about video games for a living. I love to stream. You know, talk about games when I stream. That's what I do. So if they take it down, that's kind of dumb. But the thing I wanted to say was, aside from the brown, I'm actually curious to see what this ends up being, because I'm hopeful that it's good. Doesn't give me a ton of faith, but see, what they're doing with Metal Gear Solid 3 is they're basically doing really good visuals with the same voice acting, and they're kind of using mostly the same engine with probably some minor additions. So it feels very, very similar, including all the layouts. And that's one way to do a remake. Again, we just need to clarify words. Reimagining, remaster, remake. Who the fuck knows? This one looks to be revamped. And I'm wondering what the combat is going to feel like, because Oblivion isn't known for its amazing feeling combat. It kind of just feels very floaty. For its time, this game blew me away. And then revisiting it with the randomizer, it's like, obviously, this is like the start of a new generation of gaming, kind of, and they were just figuring shit out. And again, I know people like Morrowind better. I know there's like a whole debate. I'm a filthy Bethesda casual. I've played Skyrim a bunch, played a bunch of Oblivion. That's really it. So, for me, as someone who played Oblivion when it kind of came out, a little bit after, I want to know what other stuff has been, you know, what quality of life stuff has been added. Is the voice acting the same? Are they going to have any additions? Or is it the same game? Are you going to be able to switch back and forth between old graphics and new? Who knows? We know nothing. We just see screenshots and it's brown. I think the complaining about the filter is pretty warranted, though, because Oblivion was a game when piss filters were becoming more of a thing in the gaming world, and there were a lot of very brown yellow game. I mean, it's even here too, but like the gritty filters to make things really like brown and pee. Oblivion in my mind is green and blue and saturated and pretty bright, and it sticks out among all that stuff as its own kind of thing. It's the capital of Cyrodiil. It's it's like a lush environment. And the new screenshots are very, very brown. So I get why people are complaining. It doesn't look the way I remember it. I'm hoping there's a filter option. And if not, I'm hoping mods are available, because I think day one, people are going to color correct the game, which won't be that huge of a deal. So it's, there were rumors about this thing for a while, and I was interested. I was kind of not really believing it. Just like the Final Fantasy IX remake rumors. Where's that one? God, don't get me started on that Nintendo Direct. Thought it was Garnet. So yeah, I mean, if it launches with brown, that's the least of the issues. Like, that could be fixed immediately, and if not, whatever. You'd probably get used to it. Some people are going to be purists, fair enough. For me, on a personal level, I'll still give it a shot. But I do think there are a lot of bigger questions about this thing, like I asked a moment ago. And what do you do with a game that is kind of jank? I mean, even like when you go back to play Skyrim, that's still like antiquated by now, So, who knows? Maybe they'll do something to revamp some stuff and make it feel better in a gameplay perspective. That would be cool. And the jank is the best part. That's another thing, like I said. It is fun to revisit Oblivion and make freak characters. It's fun to go back and see the weird zooms and see the bizarre lip movements and facial features. It's like a really fun revisit of just this, like, I don't know, this uncanny world. So I don't know what this could be. I don't know. If you make it too good, does it take away from the soul of Oblivion? Guess we'll find out when it comes out. And if not, well...
I won't forget you, buddy.
Oh, man.